Hey, and welcome to the Coming Strength and Fitness Fitcast. I'm Jill, coach and owner of CS&F, and I'm here along with my team to take your fitness experience to a new level. In each episode, we'll bring you helpful conversations with our coaches, members, and guests to provide additional value to your gym experience and understanding to our mission at CS&F to change lives through fitness. Hope you enjoy the episode.
Well, good morning, everybody. Could be good afternoon, depending on when you're listening to this. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We are going to have an amazing conversation today because we have two superstars in the studio. Legends in the CS&F community. New to the podcast, but not new to here or CrossFit. Kim and Dave Denkman, how we doing this morning? Kim, how are you?
Oh, we're doing great.
Doing
I'm fabulous.
Great. Fabulous. Dave?
Doing wonderful. Good morning.
Yes.
Thank you for the very kind introduction.
I only speak the truth. So, guys, I'm super pumped to dig into your guys' story, dig into CrossFit, how that's kind of intersected in your marriage, talk about marriage in general, because that's the whole point and purpose of this conversation is just CrossFit and marriage. So
it's
let's
an awesome topic.
I agree. I've had the benefit to do CrossFit and work out with my wife, Hannah, for ever since we've been married for almost 5 years now. And you guys have quadrupled that number. So you guys are going on 22 years, right?
23.
23 years.
23 years married.
Yep.
Right, we got married in 1999.
Yep.
1999.
22 years ago.
Yeah. This
22
year
years
will
of
be,
pure bliss, right?
Yep.
You know,
It
today...
has its blissful moments.
Yeah,
That's
after,
right.
And after
For
22
sure.
years, you can really appreciate it. But of course, we've had seasons that have been challenging and testing and, growth stimulating.
As any honest married couple would say. So I appreciate that. So
Yes.
for the people who are listening that are like, hey, the Denkmans are new to me. I just want to get to know them, just context, paint the picture a little bit more. Tell us just the 60-second version individually, who you are, what do you do, just a quick family, job, interest, stuff like that. And then we'll kind of dig into like the conversation. So Kim, you go first.
Okay. So I am 46 years old. I've been married for 22 years. I have two beautiful children, two teenage boys, William and TJ. They are 16 and 15. And I'm a hairstylist. I work from home now. I don't take any new clients. I just have a set list of friends and family that I've been, taken care of for a lot of years.
I like the way you said taken care of.
Yeah. It really is it's amazing how God works in all of that for me personally.
Were you working from home before the pandemic, or was that like the time? Oh, so you were. Okay.
Yes.
So it didn't really.
I've been home for 5 years. I left the salon after, 20 something years when Will was starting 6th grade because I wanted to be in the home when they got home from school during the middle school years, so I could kind of like have eyes and ears on who their friends are, what they're doing, and just be a little bit more engaged and involved and available.
And last quick question, how long have you participated in the CS&F family community? How long have you been here?
9 years.
9 years, and we just celebrated 9 years of CS&F's existence just a couple months ago, depending on when you're listening to this. So you both have been here from the beginning. And Dave, you have a unique perspective on that as well, because weren't you one of the first coaches too?
That's right. Yeah. So, going back about 9 years ago, I was working and a friend from work introduced me, say, hey, Dave, come to the gym with me. And started doing that, and we were watching videos, and we were doing CrossFit stuff, not in a CrossFit gym, but it was really my first introduction to, training and the movements and, these kind of workouts. But
so that was at a separate gym.
That's right.
And then someone invited you over here. How did that happen?
It's a good story, actually.
I was training with a friend, Josh Murphy, and good friend who, said, Denkman, come to the gym. Come on, Denkman. And so I had about maybe a year and a half of that when this gym opened.
Gotcha.
And we're 2 miles away.
Gotcha.
And so, Kim and I saw it opening, you know, communicated about it, had some interest.
And it was his 40th, coming up on his 40th birthday. And I was always a runner. I liked step aerobics, group exercise, YMCA, you know, One Life, what have you. That was my previous exercise, no CrossFit experience. But he had been doing it for a while with his buddy at work, and I knew he was interested in it, and we would talk a little bit about it, but I didn't really get, you know, how wonderful he thought it was.
Sure.
But when this opened up, he kept mentioning it, and I knew his birthday was coming up. This gym opened in, I believe, March of 2013.
13, yeah.
And then his birthday's May 10th. And so I was like, I think I'm going to, you know, let's try. Back then we had like a week free trial.
Sure.
Just to kind of get members in.
Sure.
So I walked in, and he knew, I guess I knew Jill from, our kids went to preschool together.
Oh,
and
okay.
from the Y, like step aerobics and stuff.
Sure.
Yes, Jill did step. And so it was just kind of like natural. It felt like the right thing, and the timing was right. And I would say it's cool that this podcast is about marriages, because at the time I would say CrossFit saved our marriage. Like, we were at a place where we were in, and I think you'd agree with me, we were just kind of in a place where we needed change. We needed to grow together, and we needed a place in a community, in a family, to do that. And so it's just, and I truly believe that God had a hand in all of it. And Jill and I talk about it, and Hunter and Dave, we talk about it all the time. So I walked in, and we did our week trial. Shane Bridwell was in our first class. He's another 9-year. Shout out to the Bridwells. Love them.
Shout out to Shane.
Shane and Jenny. I work out with Jenny every morning.
Yep.
She's my girl. So, yeah, I came in. We did the week trial, and then I saved up, cash to do a 3-month membership, couples membership. And that was his birthday present, his 40th birthday.
No
So that's
way.
how, it's kind of a cool story.
That is
you know?
neat. That is
Who
neat.
does that?
I know.
Say, I'm going to go ahead and pay for 3 months right now.
It's like, I'm going to lock this deal in right here.
And look at
Right
you
here,
now.
right now.
It was an investment that paid dividends in the long run.
I knew it would make him happy, because it was something that he was doing independently. And, I was fine with running and doing the other things that I was doing, but we weren't growing together.
Sure.
And having something that we could talk about at home, like, even if we didn't go to the same class, we could be like, oh, did you do the workout today? So that's a cool dynamic.
That's a big element of both of us doing this, and both of us spending time. Not only we have an additional common interest, something that we can talk about that's other than house chores and house responsibilities and house things, an extracurricular that we have in common. It's really added a lot. We can talk about nutrition. We can talk about what, our shopping list. We can talk about what we're eating. And having somebody in the house who's on the same page has been a huge momentum booster and a big help to have a partner and not be trying to figure it all out on your own and, eating for one. You can't do that. The whole group of us are on the program.
You're on the same page.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So some people that I've talked to when it comes to working out with their spouse, some people are like, I just don't do it. We try to work out together, and then we just end up getting frustrated or fight or about who knows what. What have you guys done that has tried to prevent that and tried to more unify you rather than divide when it comes to, because sharing a passion and sharing a hobby, but also sharing your lives and schedules and everything, some people think it could be too much overlap. Like, oh, you need your own thing. So-and-so does water skiing. So-and-so does too. But you know what I'm saying? But not to say that you guys always have a shared passion, but what have you guys done to really prevent some of that disunity in your marriage when it comes to CrossFit?
Well, he's amazing because he's always got a good attitude.
That helps. There's certainly times when if we're doing the same workout and it's a partner workout, and certainly, you can get you can get flustered, right?
Yeah.
You can't breathe.
Yeah.
You're taxed. You're overworked. You're overdone. You're redlining or whatever the case may be. And your partner says, no, you got 5 more.
Sure.
He's patient because I get frustrated. He slows,
I don't
slows
know.
it down, and then
You may lose track of the counting, but certainly
Yeah.
I've experienced workouts together where, you get irritated or you get tense or frustrated. But that's a minor thing.
I think that's more in the beginning too. I think that
passes.
as you get, we're 9 years in, so it's kind of like, oh, we're here to move and have fun and see
Yep.
our friends and
Yep.
connect, and
Yep.
so I think starting out maybe it might be a little bit more frustrating if
Sure.
you're in a competitive mindset. It just depends on where you tune your mind to.
One, I appreciate your guys' honesty and transparency in the fact that, like, oh, no, hey, we do bicker and butt heads sometimes, especially in the beginning. We're not like this perfect couple that has it all figured out over the
Certainly
9 years of
not.
CrossFit,
Certainly
20
not.
years of marriage. So that honesty is very attractive. But also, I think if I can just summarize some of the things that you just said there was that you keep the main things, that your marriage is more important than your workout. So if your workout starts to impede on your marriage, you realize the main thing is your marriage, and that's always going to take precedent over something else. So whether you're getting frustrated because you have 5 more reps or you didn't do something right, you realize, okay, like you said, he's patient, he has a great attitude. Those things are more important than the extra 5 reps or the 30 seconds
Absolutely.
or whatever that is. And those are keeping the main things because you're prioritizing the other one. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
So how has CS&F fostered that? What do you love about CS&F versus going to a global gym or a One Life or just running? What's different about this place when it comes to your guys' relationship?
Sure.
Community, I think.
Absolutely. So, I spent time at the YMCA or spent time trying to stick to an exercise lifestyle habit routine on my own. Going to the YMCA and trying to figure out what kind of training am I going to do today. It's difficult to maintain intensity. It's difficult to continue that over a long period of time, months, years. And so coming Strength and Fitness, where I don't have to decide what the workout is. I just show up. I know that there's other people who are going to wonder where I'm at if I'm not there.
Yeah, that accountability.
The accountability. I know that I'm going to see friends when I get there.
Yeah.
I'm going to get high fives and hellos, and that's attractive. That, I think, is one of the key elements that makes this a long duration endeavor.
Yes.
So consistency over time.
Yes.
You can be consistent for a week, and that's not gonna do it.
Sure.
You can be consistent for a month, and it's not gonna do it.
Sure.
Trying to build in habits and routines that are sustainable over a long duration.
Yep, that's what we're going
like
for.
9 years.
We're not building behaviors, we're building a lifestyle. We're
Exactly.
changing our lifestyle to prioritize our health. Because our health is freedom. The more health we have, the more freedom we possess. Kim, you were going to add some more to that.
Well, and I think over our journey, there's been times where we all kind of hit peaks and valleys. Sometimes you're in just kind of a plateau. So I can think of times where I was like really into it and really focused, and I'm going to do, I'm going to hit Commitment Club. I'm going to focus on nutrition. And then I've had times where I had suffered with long COVID for a while, and I had fatigue and joint pain, and, it kind of kept me from being as consistent. But I always have had this place and this community and these people are what have made it a home for me, a place that I can come back no matter, even if I'm, gone for a couple of weeks, or if I'm in a weird place physically, emotionally, or whatever. I can still come back in and get drawn back into this community. And it's fabulous. And I've seen people come and go and come back. And, we've been consistent over the 9 years, but there's been, stretches where it hasn't been every day.
Sure.
One of the helpful things about having this marriage and partnership and doing all of this together, times when we're not motivated, or there's an injury or there's an illness.
Yeah, there's a lull.
A
Yes.
lull. You've
had back surgery.
You've backed off your training for 2 weeks. It's sort of, or a week or whatever. It's sort of hard to get back onto that rhythm. And there's been countless times where she has, right, get up, get dressed, go to the gym, and I don't feel like it, but I see her get up, get dressed, go to the gym. Okay, that's what we do. We get up, we get dressed, we go to the gym. And we've done that for each other countless times over the years, where it's like, okay, we're, things aren't going right. Well, what are we missing? Well, we hadn't been in the gym in a while, and, my attitude is poorer than normal. And we've leaned on each other and helped each other, lead each other back to a good place.
Yep. I think culture shares the myth that forward progress should be linear, meaning you start here and then it's just straight up. You never experience any lulls or any downs, but we realize that forward progress is like this. And I know people can't see, but we're talking that you're going to go up and then you're going to go down. You're going 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. But as long as you are consistently trending in the same direction, you will see results over time, which is kind of what you guys were saying. So when it comes to the CrossFit journey, and let's say someone's listening who's new, who's not a member, what would you tell the newbie about joining, about the gym? What piece of encouragement would you tell someone on the outside that is kind of looking in right now?
Just keep coming.
Yeah.
Show up.
I can appreciate the courage that it takes to come in for the first time, to do something new, to do something difficult. And so I applaud everyone who walks in the door, because it takes a lot of courage. And so I'm proud of everybody who comes. For the new person, I would say consistency over time. It will work if you continue to show up. Magical things happen. You make friends. You find somebody who wants to share a barbell with you. You have a session where you're bonding. With another friend, a new friend, and then it changes from being somewhere that's intimidating or nervous to go to a place that you really have to go to. You want to go to. You can't wait to get there and see the people that you love, and
and you
feel
get
good about it.
Good workout, and you feel good about yourself.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, I can't overstate the positive impact that being here consistently has had on my life, the marriage, my health, how you feel about yourself. I mean, it's a major mood lifter.
Yeah.
And, I'm no fun to be around if I'm in a bad mood, and that's a losing equation. So staying positive, feeling good about the work that you're doing and the progress that you're making is a huge boost. And so, it's done amazing things for my family, and, I like to share that with other people, to tell them that there's magic in working hard.
People come for the fitness, but stay for the community.
Absolutely.
I mean, summed up in one sentence. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, over the past 9 years of doing CrossFit together, you've seen a lot of people, both with their spouse, without their spouse, because, again, we're in the context of marriage here. What are some differences you've seen for the people who, like yourselves, work out with your spouse, or at least have this commonality between you two, versus the people who one spouse is in and one spouse doesn't, and there's a little bit more not friction, but just they don't share that in common? What are some of those things that you've observed over the past several years when it comes to that? Does that question make sense?
Yeah. It's tough to answer. I can speak, and really feel, my experience and what it's been like for us. It's hard to say. I mean, I can speak to all the positives that
we've experienced.
Yeah. And that I would like to highlight those things and recommend those things and share those things.
Sure.
Having a partner who gets it, who doesn't mind, commiserating about thrusters, right? It may be that if I can make early on, when maybe there wasn't an interest or there wasn't any experience with CrossFit, if I was talking about double unders and frustrated about whipping myself, and there's just, doesn't, if the other person doesn't even know what a double under is, it doesn't make any sense. And so having that common is, the common technology, verb,
So let me twist the question a little bit and ask, let's say someone's listening who is married, they come to the gym, but their partner doesn't, but they really want their spouse to come in, but without putting that undue pressure on them, even though a healthy amount of pressure is good, because you can pressure someone into really healthy, beneficial things by encouraging. But what would you say to someone who's married that wants their spouse to come in and try? Yeah. How do you navigate that?
I mean, I definitely think that there's benefit to getting your spouse to come. Just thinking about, I can't really speak for the people who don't have a spouse working out that are here now, but I remember when we were working out at different places and we didn't share that connection. There wasn't that shared connection. So I don't know, maybe you could plan it as like a date night, position it as we do a lot of fun events. Bring your spouse to a competition or I think that I know that there's members here whose husbands or wives are not working out here, but they show up for some of the, events or this, that, and the other. And I think eventually over time, if you just keep asking and,
from a practical standpoint, I have a humongous interest in her health.
I thought you were going to say humongous biceps, Dave. That's what I thought you were going to say. Humongous biceps.
Her long-term health is vitally important to me, right? My ability to self-rescue myself, to take, to I need to be functional at 65, at 75. I need to be able to carry the load. I need to be able to shoulder the responsibility. I need to be able to do. And I also need her to be able to do that as well.
With you.
With me. And so,
I would say,
it's I don't want to say it like this, but, we're trying to avoid liabilities, avoid risk, avoid, and being healthy. I mean, every time I'd go to the doctor when I was approaching 40, they'd say, man, Dave, your blood pressure is high. We should keep an eye on that. Are you on medication? I said, no, I'm not on medication, but everybody tells me my blood pressure every time I come here.
Sure.
You tell me my blood pressure is high, doc.
Sure.
And that was a reoccurring thing for a few years. And at 40, I'm 49 now, I'd be in bad shape. And I would be potentially, whatever, it's medication for, heart disease or blood pressure or whatever it might be. We want to avoid that. And
so I would say whatever it takes to get your spouse in here.
Yeah,
it's important.
Yeah,
it's important. If you want to approach it from a health standpoint or
practical health standpoint, and put yourself fast forward 20 years and you're 60.
That's good.
You want to be. Believe me, today, I am extremely glad that we started 9 years ago.
Yeah.
I am. And there is no shortcut. It's not. I can't get to Dave at 49 by starting 2 years ago.
That's good.
Or 1 year ago.
That's good.
I had to start 9 years ago to get to where I'm at, and figure things out about nutrition and consistency and habits and what works. So I've got a few of those to share that.
Sure.
That work.
Sure. Kim, you were going to add something?
I was going to say, well, back to what you said, people come here for fitness and then they stay for community. So I think with regards to bringing your spouse in here, come in for fitness, come in for fun, come in for health reasons or just because I want you to. I want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
And then they get here and the community is going to draw them in, and that's going to fix that. So not too much pressure on those individuals. But
that's been something awesome to see, and having a perspective of being here for that long, to see people who started 4 years ago and what happened in that last 4 years for that person.
Yes.
The friends that they've made. I've, seeing all of the magic that happens here happen for people who I know, who I've gotten to know. And, there's dads and moms who are extremely fit and extremely capable and smart and doing good work out in the community and in their work and their profession. You're surrounded by people who are trying their best, and it's a good pool of people to be around.
Yes.
Really.
I always preach that your community is the strongest dose of accountability you ever get, because you're going to go in the same direction as the group. It's why if you want to become a reader, you join a book club. If you want to become an athlete, you join a sports team. If you want to whatever, it's the same principle. Where going back to something that you said, Kim, which I just kind of want to highlight, is that let's say someone is listening that would love for their spouse to one day join or just do something athletic or exercise type. It should always be positive and never be negative.
Yes.
It should always be encouraging and never shaming. It should always be an invitation rather than I'm doing this and you're not type of deal. Because
sure.
I struggle with that a lot of, I'm doing this, like you should be doing what I'm doing versus, and should just leads to shame. If you should do something and you don't, that just leads to guilt and shame versus, hey, the reason I would love for you to join me is because I want to do this with you.
Right.
And there's no pressure, but if you want to, the invitation's open. Because I'm just going to give a quick shameless plug that my parents are actually they're directors of a marriage resource up in Michigan, and their whole thing is marriage, how to create healthy marriages. They've been married for, I think, 30 plus years now.
That's awesome.
I just wrote a book called An Intentional Marriage, and I'm going through it right now, and it's absolutely phenomenal. You should go check it out on Amazon. But they say that the foundation of a healthy marriage, at the essence, is a safe friendship. It's not a business transaction. You're not roommates. You're not just getting through. But if you genuinely enjoy each other as friends, as people, like you are each other's best friend, granted, there's acceptance and security and attention and all those things and romance, all that. But the very core, the very bottom is, do you enjoy each other? And I think that's one of the special things we're talking about is this is a common thing that you guys can be friends with.
Yes.
Because, yes, you guys are business partners when it comes to family. You guys are figuring out schedules. You have a lot of moving parts. So you are roommates in the fact that you're cleaning and wiping down counters and all that stuff. But the thing that's going to hold you guys together, hold me and Hannah together, any marriage together, is that we enjoy one another. We're safe with one another. We're friends with one another. And that's where I think it's special. And it may be CrossFit. It might be running. It might be something athletic. But if we're prioritizing our health but also doing it together, it's just going to fuel that friendship that you have with one another. And on top of that, yes, we're patient and we have a great attitude like we've talked about earlier. But if we have that safe friendship that's going to hold us together at the foundation, that should be the vision. That, like, hey, the reason I would like you to join is because I want to do this with you. I want this to be a common thing that we enjoy.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I know that's kind of skimming the surface because every situation is unique.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. I mean, I would say I'm a quality time person. That's my love language. And so this satisfies that for me because we can do that together.
Yeah.
And he's words of affirmation. He likes good strokes. And
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Physical touch. Lots of hugs.
I love it.
Give Dave a hug.
Give Dave a hug. Okay, I want to take a quick right turn here and take this conversation now towards your kids. We mentioned that you have 16 and 15-year-old boys.
Yes.
So you're mom of two boys, Dave, dad of two boys here,
Yep.
Will and TJ. They both have been in the gym. I both
Will
coached
worked out
both
with us
of them.
this morning.
Yeah, you both
He
did
Murph
half
with us.
Murph this morning.
Yeah,
Will was
half
here
Murph.
this morning. I've coached both of them in our teens class. Amazing boys. Because in marriage, yes, it's talking about you two, but also your two boys are now emulating or doing what you guys are going to do or doing right now. So how has this journey intersected your kids and those conversations, what you encourage, how you talk about just working out with them? Talk about just the family dynamic.
It's
I think it's everything. I mean,
they're watching. They've been watching since they were born how we operate, how I treat their mother, how our relationship dynamic works. What are we doing with our free time? How do we talk to each other? They're watching. It's a big responsibility, and it's important to me to set a good example. And right,
He does a great job.
Make a list of things that you want to impart to your children, and the vision, and take the steps to make it a reality. I think we're trying to demonstrate that being healthy is important, right? Being disciplined is important. Having healthy habits are important.
How much do you guys think you teach versus how much do you just emulate and just they pick up? Like the caught versus taught analogy. How much you guys like, hey, the reason we should eat our fruits and vegetables.
I feel like we teach all that much.
I feel like I do it all the time. I'm constantly
okay.
Telling them.
So you're more teach, you're more like, hey, this is our lifestyle, let's just do as we do as a family type of deal.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the example is what's effective, because I don't think that my verbal message is nearly as effective as just
100%.
Yes.
the
100%.
Watch what I'm doing.
It's not just talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. It's like show me.
I'd say I talk more, tell them more, like do this, do that. You got to let's do an 800-gram challenge. Come on, let's eat our vegetables, or let's do this, or finish 5 more bites of broccoli.
Have you done your push-ups today? Have you done your push-ups today? Have you done your push-ups today?
Right.
And usually the answer is no.
I was going to say, how is that reciprocated or taken by middle school and high school boys? Because I feel like stereotypically, just in general with our generation, they just want to play video games and they don't want to do anything active. They just want to eat cookies.
Sure.
Which is in moderation is fine because they're middle school and high school boys. But how much do you hold them to healthy habits versus giving them room to just be boys?
I think we give them a lot of room.
Definitely.
And they're not perfect. They're great kids. They don't talk back too much. We really are very, very blessed and lucky.
And I'll just pause you really quick because anyone listening can be like, okay, they're biased parents. Everyone's going to say their kids are great. I have interacted with both Will and TJ, and they are amazing, respectful, not going to talk back, athletic, awesome dudes. So you've done something right, whether it's caught or taught or just whatever.
I think they just make us look good. I say that all the time. I don't know how it happened, but
that's awesome.
But there's there's a culture at our house. There's that they're a part of.
Yeah.
And they get caught up in it. And it's our lifestyle. It's what we're doing. They know we're going to the gym in the morning. They're aware.
They know it's important to you.
Yes.
But I think what's also important too is that just a universal principle is that the 60 minutes in the gym do not outweigh the other 1,380 minutes during the day. Meaning, if we only prioritize our health within the context of the gym, the other 23 hours are going to outweigh the 1 hour we invest here. And what you guys are saying is that you take these 60 minutes home. We're creating a lifestyle.
Yes,
we're creating new routines.
It sets the tone for the day.
It does. It creates family structures. So you are now leading by example. You guys are the leaders of your home, but then Will and TJ are now picking that up because you guys are now infusing that into the other 1,000+ minutes of your day.
And they've started doing things on their own and without us nagging and begging, do this, do that.
They're getting to that age. They're 15 and they're 16.
So they're making their own choices.
Their buddies are starting to work out. They're they're all getting bigger and stronger, and that they're at that age where they're discovering who they are. They're playing sports, so it's not a foreign thing for a young man at that age to say, look, I got to get huge. I got to get jacked.
What about some practical things you guys do as far as like cooking dinners, packing their lunch, bedtime? Do they carry a water bottle? They do push-ups? What are some of these nitty-gritty things that you guys like to like small, but also they add up over time habits that you guys try to instill in your family?
He's a big pack your lunch guy.
It'll change your life. If you pack your lunch every day, you'll never go to McDonald's. If you pack your lunch every day, you won't go through a drive-through. You probably won't pack a Coca-Cola in your lunch. You're not going to pack, junk in your lunch.
What's your go-to lunch that you pack, Dave?
Every day.
4 hard-boiled eggs and 2 chicken breasts and some fruit, a yogurt, and
maybe a bar or some nuts.
A banana, an apple. Yeah. And that'll get me to dinner.
Dang.
That'll get me to dinner. And I pack my lunch every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Dave, I remember
Sometimes on the weekends.
I asked you that question, I think like a year and a half ago. I said, Dave, what's like the one tip you'd give me right now over anything? You said, pack your lunch. I still remember that, and I still share that.
Yeah.
Because I think it's very simple,
Yes.
but yet powerful enough to, if you make that consistent, it can change your life.
It will change your life if you do it every day. If you never have to go to, oh, I'm hungry, it's noon, I got to go.
I'm going to go to
something.
Five Guys and Fries type of deal,
And if you have that option, that's no good. And what we're talking about is consistency over time. And if you pack your lunch every day,
Yes.
it's going to make a difference. It will, and that goes to maybe one of the things that I've learned, and to the new CrossFit person, we're all doing the same workout.
Yeah. Much of it is
we're
nutrition,
all doing the same workout,
too.
but nutrition and is the basis,
Yeah.
is the foundation of
How
all
you're
of
fueling
this.
your
It
body.
is.
And
So do Will and TJ pack their lunch?
not themselves.
I know. Yeah, I'm still packing their lunches a lot of times.
But you
They
do pack
can.
your lunch.
They're capable of doing it.
I mean,
do.
their lunch is packed. Despite
Yes.
who does it, their lunch is
Yes.
packed.
Most of the time. Lately, it's the end of the year, and so we've gotten a little bit slack.
Sure,
lately.
but over time,
yes,
I mean, in general.
we pack lunches.
All right, what are some other things as far as pack their lunch nutrition? What about cooking at home, water, push-ups? Like, what are other practical things you guys do?
We definitely do food prep, usually one or two, usually on Sundays, Saturdays or Sundays, or a weekend day. We'll grill a bunch of chicken.
Yep.
It's a habit.
We always
it's a
are
routine.
boiling eggs because he
Yes.
eats eggs. I like to have them to snack on.
Sure.
The boys will eat them.
18 at a time.
And we
You just boil 18 eggs
and then peel them and put them in a Tupperware, and then it's easy to go.
How long does that last you, 18 eggs?
Not long. I mean, we go through a lot of
A few
eggs.
days.
If anybody has chickens, we'll
The
take some
Denkmans will be
eggs.
your first customers. I love it.
But it's,
Yeah.
in 9 years, it's a lot of workouts. It's a lot of workouts, and it's a lot of seasons of what's working well and what's not working well.
Yeah.
And it took several years. It took a long time of my Fitness Pal and tracking calories and tracking macros and learning that stuff.
We're kind of dialed in now to just a consistent. It's sort of like intuitive. Like we do these nutrition challenges, which are always amazing, and it kind of helps to get back,
Recenter you.
Reset things.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a good exercise for someone who has not done it before to
Sure.
log their food, track their food,
or
track
if you're
it
getting off track and
to
you want
get an
reset.
understanding of their what's the basic the minimum amount of calories they need, the maximum amount, and dialing that and playing with that and seeing what happens. After a while, it becomes second nature, but I think it's a worthwhile exercise.
100%.
To get with Jill, get with Coach, and understand the macros and what's your metabolic rate and how much what your intake is, and playing with that because depends on what your goals are, depends on what you're trying to do.
Sure.
But if you're trying to decrease body fat, increase muscle mass, there's a specific nutrition
Formula.
program. It's not a mystery. It's not confusing. It's not a mystery. It's a reality that
It's hard work. It's consistency over time.
Yep.
and you can do things that make it easier, like packing your lunch, right?
Well, also these. You said water, so we all carry these. Like
Here's mine right here, sitting on the desk.
Thermoflask things, and the boys take them to school
Good.
and they refill them. They have for practice.
Yes.
So
If it's near you, you will
Yes.
drink it, right?
So that's water's important.
Yes.
And the food, and they are teenage boys. They eat. Now they can drive and they have money that they can go to the store and
Zaxby's.
get.
Sure.
Yeah.
Zaxby's is huge in high school.
Yes. So
Yep.
they don't eat. They don't eat healthy all the time.
Well, here I
But-
will preface and say when I was in high school, I was big into health and fitness. I worked out. I got into CrossFit my senior year of high school. I think I still ate McDonald's and Taco Bell through high school. And
When
granted,
you're young, you can.
granted,
body
you're burning, you're
recovers.
growing. I mean, it's a lot different than
Yes.
the seasons of life we're in now, where as long as a lot of those healthy seeds are being planted now,
Yes.
those will take root and start to flourish and blossom later on in life. But what you guys are doing is leading by example and setting those and sowing
Yep.
those seeds.
Train in the way they
Amazing.
should go.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
so.
So, guys, as we round out this conversation, you guys have A, done absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
B, is there any last minute thoughts or things that we missed that you'd like to share? Any last minute ideas that you'd like to leave the CS&F community with, our podcast listeners? Maybe if you just want to say one thing to the CS&F community. Any last minute closing thoughts?
I want to give a shout out to all my 8:30 and 7:30 people.
Yes,
Because they are,
yes.
without them, I wouldn't be here. So
That's awesome.
I mean, there's too many names to name, but they know
In a
who
quick
they are, all
context
them.
of that, there is a group of 7:30, 8:30 women,
Yes.
moms, ladies that have been going the distance for quite a while. I
Yep.
mean, some of the OG members
Many
and that.
of them are 9 years too.
I'm assuming you guys probably have some sort of like text message group thread of like, hey,
Oh, yeah.
we're in this together. We're going to come to this class. And I mean, I see you guys. I coach you guys. I know you guys.
Yep.
We've hung out. We've done trips, stuff like that where, like I said, if you have a core group of people to do this with, it'll make all the difference.
It really
and you
does.
do. And it's
we
powerful.
do lunch. You know, we celebrate birthdays and we make
Special.
coffee dates. And it's not just the workout. It is the friendships.
Friendships.
It's the people. And
Yeah.
we are made to be relational.
Yes.
And so that is like, if I could say anything, I mean, community,
Yes.
consistency over time.
Yes.
It's available.
All of
Yes.
that.
It's available to everyone who walks in the door.
Yes.
The new person, even though they may not be experiencing it on their first day or their first week, but what will happen or what has the opportunity to happen
Yeah.
if you open yourself up to
And-
it is a bond with the people in your class. If you,
Yes.
I'm telling you, if you show up at 6 a.m. consistently for a month, there's people who are also there consistently every morning at 6 a.m. and they're going to rally around you. You're going to be part of that team.
100%.
And the momentum and the motivation and the camaraderie that comes with that, all you got to do is show up, and
Yep.
and the good people of the 6 a.m. or the good people of the 5 a.m. will rally around you, and you will have workout partners, and you will have a team, and amazing things happen at that point.
And I'll say everything can be modified. So
Yes.
for the new
Yes,
person,
it can.
really, I mean, we say this all the time that you can be, you know, a young person, you can be an old person. And so I love that through our journey, we've had, you know, there are times when physically we haven't been well, or, you know, he had a back surgery to recover from. And
Right.
that would take a lot of people out and just say, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to go back because I got injured or whatever. But you really, truly can work through injury. You can work
Yes.
yourself and
Yes.
and you can build your, even though there's a workout and it's programmed and we give a couple different options, whether you're on a fitness track or a performance, and you can even modify down from there, customize to what it's set there. That's the workout. And then, you know,
Each
And
workout
your
is
coach
your
will
workout.
help you do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
figure
absolutely.
out what you can do.
I do
The
it. We
goal
all-
is to move and to be healthy
Right.
and to feel good and to, you know, make friends and
And survive and be able to come back tomorrow.
yeah.
Guys, thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like I've never met anyone who doesn't want to be healthy and it doesn't want to be better. And you guys are living proofs that if you walk in this door, you will get healthy and you will be better. You will.
Absolutely.
You will.
You will. And if you trust the process, give it your all, show up, open up, trust the process, you will get better and you'll get healthier.
Yep.
All right.
Have a good time.
As we finish these last couple of minutes, I'm just going to ask a couple of just fun questions that we can just conclude the episode with. So I'm just going to see how many we get through. Okay, so let's go one at a time. We're just going to do some quick ones, and then we'll kind of get into some other ones. First, Kim, what was your favorite subject in school?
Art.
Art. Dave, what about you?
Music.
Music. If you could live anywhere for 30 days outside of the United States right now, all expenses paid trip, just by yourself, not with each other, where would you go?
I'm a big tropical island
I was
guy.
gonna
When I daydream, I
took it.
daydream about tropical islands and
gonna say
fish
Hawaii.
and wildlife and
Yes.
you know, just living in a swimsuit.
Bahamas.
You know, yeah, somewhere like the Bahamas.
Love it.
That'd be fine.
I can tell you guys have been married for 22 years. Similar answer. Okay. Dave, we're not packing our lunch today. For whatever reason, what is your go-to meal, lunch that, whatever restaurant, what is it?
I like a Reuben. I like a corned beef, sandwich with sauerkraut and rye bread.
I was not expecting that.
Random.
I was not expecting that.
He does like that though.
A Cuban or a Reuben, a pastrami sandwich.
Yeah.
Pastrami.
Yeah.
What about you, Kim?
Oh gosh. I'm going to Cava.
Hoven.
Oh yes, Hoven.
Y'all remember Hoven at Perimeter Mall in the food court?
There's only one left in Georgia, I think. It's
Really?
Like,
Is that a restaurant? Hoven?
It's like those rolled up sandwiches.
It's a wrap.
The Hoven Gourmet.
Interesting.
They were so good.
I love that
Yes.
Dave thought of that for you.
Yes.
That's
well,
awesome.
because if he's ever near it, I'll be like, bring me a Hoven, but it never happens. So. One day.
Over the past 40 plus years of your guys' lives, what was your least favorite job you've ever done?
Oh.
And it could be all the way back to 16 years old,
I've really
20.
only had one job.
Really?
I've been doing hair since I was 16.
And done nothing else? You've never...
I worked at TCBY when
what's
we
that?
first started dating. It was a yogurt place.
Okay.
Yeah, that was super fun. Free yogurt. He'd come and get free yogurt.
So you didn't have a least favorite. You just got yogurt and you've done hair for your entire life.
We have 22 years, but we're actually high school sweethearts. I went to his senior prom.
No way.
And his 30-year high school reunion is this summer.
Wow. Are you guys going to go?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's here.
We need to
It's
get
local.
Dave, what's your least favorite job you've ever had?
I washed dishes at a couple of country clubs in Roswell when I was in high school.
Yep.
Working in the kitchen, washing dishes, and it's hot and steamy, and it's not it's food. It's a dirty job washing dishes,
Yeah.
and so that wasn't
about as fun as it sounds.
Yeah.
Well, I do that every day, so.
Me too. Okay, what show or book are you guys reading together or watching together?
We just finished Ozark.
What a disaster.
Yeah.
Are you guys
Ted
big?
Lasso is good. We watched Ted Lasso
I love
recently.
Are you guys
Lasso.
big show or movie people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I would say yes, I am. I like to watch shows.
I don't have.
I didn't used to be. When the kids were small, like I feel like we went through a long stretch where we didn't even turn on a TV.
Yeah.
You're probably in that
I'll
stage
say
right
I
now.
can relate to that.
But
hey, we watch Blippi and Paw Patrol and
all
the things.
those. So once that's done, we have a lot more time. I feel like I have a lot more time than I used to watch shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Because the kids are a little more independent. I think is the reason why.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so busy that I don't.
Yeah,
watch
he doesn't
TV.
watch as much TV.
I don't either, Dave. But
He really doesn't.
Yeah.
He does. He works very hard.
all right, next one. What is your guys' phobia or aversion? What are you guys irrationally scared of? For example, I'll go mine are sharks. Could be spiders, heights, clowns, or whatever.
Snakes. I don't like snakes.
Snakes. Yeah, that's a very common one. Dave?
Flying.
Really?
Yeah, he's
Just
afraid to fly.
like flying Delta or like
Yeah.
flying
He's
skydiving?
almost as
Flying
bad as
Delta.
Kelly Angel.
Really? I knew Kelly was
Yeah.
pretty
No,
fearful.
that's the first one that comes to mind.
All right.
I don't enjoy being on a plane.
Do you fly for your job?
No.
Oh, good. Well, there you go. There you go. Okay. Last one, a little bit more serious. If you could go back and give your guys' let's contextualize a marriage. Your first year in a marriage, if you could give your 1 year anniversary couple self a what's the word I'm looking for? A piece of advice. There it goes. A piece of advice when you're newly married, what would it be?
Forgive quickly.
Yes.
Forgive
That's a good one.
quickly.
Mm.
To wait a long time to just to decide to forgive, you know that time is wasted. The sooner the better.
Yeah.
Move forward.
It's only going to help if you forgive
Be the
quickly.
person you want to be married to.
Mm.
Yes, if you want to have someone who you can count on, then be someone who can be counted on.
I love that.
You know,
He's so
this
good.
is a two-way street.
Yes.
This is a two-way street, and so it starts with you. It starts with you know you. It
Yeah.
starts with you.
I don't get
as an
that right all the
individual.
time.
No one does. No one does. But as long as you're striving
I'm
for it.
harder to love. He's easy, but I can be the difficult one.
That's another one. Yeah, be somebody who's easy to be married to. How about that?
I think both of you guys are amazing people. Well, guys, this is all the time we had. We went a little long, but I think it was worth it. I think our listeners fairly enjoyed it because I know I sure did.
Thank you. Thanks for
We
having
hope
us.
you have an amazing family annual trip that you guys are about to go on.
absolutely.
Thank
to
you.
our Callaway Gardens.
There you go. Thank you for your time, your wisdom, your experience, your involvement and participation over the past 9 years. You guys are lights. You keep shining it, and you shine it well, and you shine it bright. So thank you so much.
Thank
To
you.
all of our listeners out there, you are legends.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today, friends. We hope you enjoyed this conversation and gained a greater understanding of the mission and vision of the CS&F community. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram under Coming Strength and Fitness, or hit us up on comingstrengthandfitness.com. See you next time.